Wild card weekend is upon us come Saturday with a double header, one that's controversial because of a streaming service, not because of anything that's... Well, the Kansas City Chiefs have become controversial for other reasons. We won't get into that, though. We're going to start off with Saturday, 4:30 p.m. on NBC, where the Cleveland Browns are at the Houston Texans. Now, these two teams have never met in the playoffs before. Now, I know Houston is at home. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns because they've got the experience with Myles Garrett. He had played in 2 playoff games in the 2020 season, defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers in that wild card round and then at Kansas City in the second round. And Joe Flacco as well. Joe Flacco knows a thing or two about the playoffs. And that's not a knock on C.J. Stroud or the rest of the Houston Texans. They're youngins, along with the Green Bay Packers. But I'll talk about them a little bit later. Again, 4:30 p.m. on NBC, and I'm going to take the Browns to advance to the next round. 8 p.m. on Peacock. Yes, that's why it's controversial. Older folks don't really seem to know how to navigate getting a network like Peacock, a streaming service. And they said that they're screwing the fans. Well, they've been screwing the fans with Amazon Prime Video with Thursday Night Football the last, 2 years, right? Okay. This is where the future's at, folks, okay? These networks, I'm going to say nothing lasts forever. That includes networks. And the coverage for the networks covering these games, I don't think is going to last forever. Someone had said, a TV executive said, wouldn't be surprised if the Super Bowl was on pay-per-view or a streaming service at some point. Strictly. I agree. I think that's where we're headed. The reigning defending undisputed Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champs, hosting the Miami Dolphins. This game is supposed to be 6 below zero weather, or minus 6 degree below zero weather. And I don't see how a team from South Florida, South Beach, can withstand this. I really don't. In what world do the Miami Dolphins defeat the Kansas City Chiefs in their home field in this weather? Not this one. I'm going to take KC. Sunday, we've got a triple header starting at 1 p.m. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who eked in to the playoffs, are at the Buffalo Bills, where it's supposed to be snowing, snow and cold, Snowmageddon. And it feels like the 90s, though, doesn't it, with these two teams in it? Also Miami and Kansas City. It feels like the 1990s, and Green Bay and Dallas. It does. It feels like the 1990s with all these teams being in it, meeting each other in the wild card round. I feel like a 10 or 12-year-old boy again. Buffalo, by the way, I've heard when these two teams meet up in the playoffs that any combination of these two teams that hook up in the playoffs, Pittsburgh versus Buffalo, whether it's in Buffalo or Pittsburgh or Orchard Park, or Pittsburgh, whoever wins this represents the AFC in the Super Bowl. Read into that what you will. Like Miami, I just don't see how Pittsburgh has any path to defeat the Buffalo Bills in their home stadium, especially in the elements. That doesn't mean that Pittsburgh isn't a cold weather team, because the Steelers are. I just don't see this. I just don't see how the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go in to Orchard Park, New York, Western New York, and beat the Buffalo Bills. I just don't see it. I'm taking the Bills. 4:30 p.m. on Fox, the Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys. The Packers have never lost at AT&T Stadium. And you know what? They will continue their winning ways. I got the Pack in an upset to defeat the Dallas Cowboys in the first round of this playoffs for the wild card. Pack. They got in. Jordan Love and company, nothing to lose. The Dallas Cowboys, who, by the way, Mike McCarthy, former Green Bay Packers head coach, now the Dallas Cowboys head coach, is always looking behind his shoulder to see if Jerry Jones is there ready to fire him. He will. Mike McCarthy will lose this game and lose his job. I've got the Packers winning this in an upset. That's 4:30 p.m. on Fox on Sunday. And then at 8 p.m. on NBC, two teams that haven't duked it out since the second round of the 1952 NFL playoffs. That's right, Harry Truman was outgoing president the last time these two teams hooked up. The Los Angeles Rams and the Detroit Lions. Matt Stafford comes back to the place where he started his career and was the number 1 draft pick. The Detroit Lions, who are missing some key elements. They've got some injuries. I still think they're going to be able to get by. I think this is going to be an instant classic, and the Detroit Lions will get by the LA Rams. Wouldn't surprise me if the Rams go and win this. Sean McVay and Matt Stafford, and Cooper Kupp, they've got the playoff experience for sure. Remember, Detroit is my NFC representative in the Super Bowl. I can't let go of that just yet. The Rams are hot. I know that. I know. I just think Detroit, it's in Detroit, and I think at Ford Field, by the way, Ford Field having their first ever playoff game. They've been around since, 2002? Ford Field has been around since 2002, and they're having their first ever playoff game, hosting their first ever. That's weird, but that's the Lions for you all these years. Now they're figuring it out with Dan Campbell and company, and I think they're going to figure it out in an instant classic this Sunday night in the Motor City. And then Monday night, the second year in a row, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been in a wild card round, taking on an NFC East team. This time, the reigning, defending, undisputed NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. It's an 8 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. And despite the Eagles' woes, I'm going to take them because I think they're going to get humiliated in the next round. I don't mean lost. They're going to get humiliated in the next round. I think they're going to barely get by Tampa Bay this Monday night. And I think Philadelphia is going to come out on top. The reigning, defending, undisputed NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles will get by the Tampa Bay Bucks. I just don't trust Todd Bowles in the playoffs. I just don't. It's the way it is. His decision-making has always been kind of head-scratching. You amplify that in an NFL wildcard game, playoffs, I don't trust him. I'm sorry. There are some coaches I trust in the playoffs. I trusted Mike McCarthy for a couple of times. The one time he didn't burn me with Green Bay. Several other times he did. I don't trust him. Just like I don't trust Todd Bowles. It's the way it is. Okay, let me go back as well. I don't trust Kyle Shanahan in clutch situations either in the playoffs because he's burned me. So when the 49ers have their playoff next week, I may or may not pick them. Although if Philadelphia wins, when they go to San Francisco or go to Santa Clara to play San Francisco, we'll find out. Okay, Browns, Chiefs, Bills, Packers, Lions, Eagles. Those are the 6 teams that I'm picking for this wild card weekend. It's going to be a snowy one in some places and cold in some other places, so enjoy it. NFL wildcard weekend. I'll be back next week with the divisional round and then J-Dawg's sports shorts for the the championship Sunday games on that Sunday before the Super Bowl, and then Super Bowl 58 pick on J-Dawg's sports shorts. Hope you're enjoying J-Dawg's sports shorts, by the way. Got a lot of views for the Cavs in Paris game yesterday, where I did the LA Les Cavs. That means let's go Cavs in Le Français, as I'm half French, half Irish. I don't know what I'll be doing on J-Dawg's sports shorts on St. Patrick's Day, because I'm pretty sure the Cavaliers play, either the Cavs or the Blues are playing that day. We'll get there in March. I do know one thing. I am going to be wearing my Cleveland Guardians spring training St. Patty's Day hat from last year. I didn't have it last year in time. I ended up getting it at the beginning of 2024 because it was on sale. It was super expensive. That was the only hat for Cleveland, a special hat that I was not really able to obtain other than the September 11th hat and the Jackie Robinson Day hat because they weren't factual. What I mean by factual, the Guardians were on the road in San Francisco. They don't wear the red bill on their hat. That's why I didn't get that September 11th hat. And also, Jackie Robinson Day, they were in Washington, D.C. The New Era team shop was only selling the red bill for Jackie Robinson Day as well as September 11th. So I wanted to be factual. That's why I didn't do that. Long story short. But yes, you just get ready for that on J-Dawg's sports shorts. I'll be sporting the green hat for St. Patrick's Day, the Cleveland Guardians 2023 St. Patty's Day hat. There's my Irish accent right there. So I did a little French, did a little Irish. Enjoy the wild card weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. For next Friday, I'll do the brief recap, then get right into the divisional round, which will be, of course, 2 games, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and then you've got Championship Sunday. That'll be J-Dawg's sports shorts, and then big game, conference championship. So you've got Saturday and Sunday. 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, I should say, next week. So I'll make the picks next week for this, and then Championship Sunday will be J-Dawg's sports shorts for that Sunday, and then Super Bowl 58 on Sunday, February 11th, I'll make my pick that day. Okay, rambling on. Done rambling. Those are my picks, and I'm sticking to them.